We're going to look at how to create email contact groups. These groups can be used in your Gmail, in your Drive with Google Docs, as well as with calendars, your sharing your website, really with any of the Google apps. They're useful for sending out any of those types of items, emails, Google Docs, links to your website, etc., to large groups of students, parents, or even your colleagues without having to type in each and every email address individually when you want to share something. So you'll notice I have my Gmail open right now. I go up to Mail, I click Contacts. Now, since most of you want to set up contact groups for students, we're going to go through the steps for that. For the most part, we should be able to search in order to get the student email addresses, but if that doesn't work, we have a couple of other steps that we can try. The easiest way is if you go up to the search bar, and in the search bar you type in the graduation year for your students. So I'm just going to pick 2017, and I'm going to type in 17 and hit search. It's going to look for 17 in any of the contacts that are available. You'll notice that some of these come up right here as 2017, and then also here down here in domain contacts of 2017. This should be, down here in the domain contacts, this should be all of the students that are available, so therefore this is the entire class of 2017. So with roster in hand, you can go through and check the students that you want to have in a group. So for instance, if I had, let's say, these 5 students in first period, and that was my first period class, I would select those students by looking at my Skyward roster. Then once they're checked, I would go up to the multiple people, which is a group, and I would create a new group. And I'm just going to say period, say they're period 2. Period 2, semester 1. You can call it whatever you want. We could say this is French 2, or this is online French. Okay, you can title it anything you want. So I'm going to go back to that French 2 as the title for that class. I'm going to hit OK. Now, what you'll notice is that over here on the side, now there's a new label for those students that says French 2. Those students are now grouped. Also over here on the side you'll see French 2 right here, meaning that there is a group called this. It currently has 5 students in it. Once that's done, I can go, that's all I have to do to create a group. So if I go back to my mail and I want to send out a mail message to this group, I start typing that in, and then you can see that it pops up. If I click it, it automatically populates with those students' email addresses. If I were doing this with a group of parents, for instance, or anyone really outside of the school organization, I would do the same thing. The only difference is I would use the BCC instead. The blind CC allows us to type this in, but when these emails get sent out and received, Brittany, for instance, will only see her email address in the email, and she will not be able to see any of the other students' email addresses, which is very important in terms of respecting the privacy of our families and community members. So the difference between 2 and BCC, very important. If instead I didn't want to use that and I instead wanted to share this movie file with students from my Drive, I would check this. I would go up to the Share button, click Share. Currently, I'm the only one that has access. I would like to share this with this class. So I'm going to start typing that in, and you'll notice it populates down here with French 2. And there are all the email addresses. From here I would set it that I just want them to be able to comment on the video, tell me if it's funny, whatever, and it will send them the email that shares them with the document. I always think it's a good idea to add a message in there to give some instructions in terms of what is this that you're sending them, what should they do with it once they've clicked on the link, etc. Always a good idea. but it works just fine. The same thing goes with if we go to the calendar and if I click create, okay, I'll be able to add in right here and use the same group that I've created. So across any of the Google apps, I can use that same group to share information, sites, emails, documents, what have you, quickly and efficiently rather than spending all the time of constantly typing in the same email addresses over and over again. Hopefully this was helpful.